today on The Dr. Oz Show. Dr. Oz's Holistic Health Secrets. Andrew Weil's Ultimate Anti-Inflammatory Diet. Prevent heart disease, cancer, and Alzheimer's.
What are the primary mistakes we make that lead to inflammation?
5 new essential ingredients. And the one easy-to-make meal Dr. Weil swears by.
Chock full of antioxidants.
That is so easy.
Then 7 all-natural solutions to eliminate pain in just 7 days.
You remember one thing from this show.
Next.
Heart disease, digestive disorders, Alzheimer's, cancer. At their root, they all have one thing in common: chronic inflammation. But what if you could help prevent them by simply changing what you eat? My good friend, Dr. Andrew Weil, is here today, and he says you can, and his anti-inflammatory diet for optimal health can help.
I believe food is the ultimate medicine, and science now confirms what natural health practitioners have always known. You certainly are what you eat. Olive oil, healthiest fat you can use. The standard American diet promotes inflammation because it gives you the wrong kinds of fats, the wrong kinds of carbohydrates. Inflammation throughout the body is the root cause of most chronic diseases: cardiovascular disease, Alzheimer's disease, cancer. So the right kind of food is nature's way of controlling inflammation. The cure can start with whole natural foods as close to the way nature produces them. Kale is a superfood full of vitamins, minerals, cancer protective elements. I wrote the book True Food because I really think you don't need to take pills in most instances to be healthy. You just need to eat right. Perfectly cooked. You know, I've traveled the globe studying Eastern and Western medicine for 40, 50 years. What I found out is that I can turn your kitchen into a pharmacy.
Welcome. I gotta say, this book is wonderful. The restaurant is also wonderful. But I cannot pry this away from my wife, who absolutely adores the recipes.
Good. Glad to hear it.
Why decide to call it True Food?
Because this is about whole, real food, as close to natural as possible, skillfully prepared, bold flavors, the essence of food.
I should point out, Dr. Weil, wrote a book. The whole theme of this book is that you can prevent disease through your diet. This is a very radical approach for some physicians still. And I think a lot of folks out there watching might be still thinking, yeah, I guess food's important to my health, but how important is it really?
I think it's a cornerstone of good health because it's something you potentially have total control over, and it's a shame to squander that. And this is not about health food. This is first about food that's delicious and appealing, that happens to be good for you because it conforms to principles of good nutritional science.
Take a step back for us and help everyone understand how inflammation influences disease.
Inflammation, as you know, is the cornerstone of the body's healing response. It's how the body gets more nourishment and immune activity to an area that needs it. But inflammation is so powerful and so potentially destructive that if it persists or serves no purpose, it damages tissue and causes disease.
So, a lot of our diets, unfortunately, aren't true foods, aren't real foods. What are the primary mistakes we make that lead to inflammation?
Well, even the mainstream diet is strongly pro-inflammatory. It gives you the wrong kinds of fats, it gives you the wrong kinds of carbohydrates, and it doesn't give you enough of the protective elements, which are mostly found in plant foods and fruits and vegetables, herbs and spices.
So when you speak about an anti-inflammatory diet, you just listed a few items there, and you obviously believe they're powerful. Do you see that as being part and parcel of a healthy life?
I think that's the centerpiece. You start with good nutrition, and then you deal with reduction of stress and good rest and sleep and make sure you get plenty of physical activity. But I think diet is central.
And this is big news for everybody, because I got to say that in the medical community, most of us still don't acknowledge that, it's an age-old adage, you've all heard it, you are what you eat. But in medicine, we don't teach it to our students.
No, it's not taught still, and we don't practice it in our hospitals. It's a shame because there is so much that can be accomplished just by making true food.
So I've got a little demonstration that I prepared with Andy that I think will bring alive some of these concepts. So come on over if you don't mind. And to be as clear as possible, let me show you why what you can eat that's healthy for you protects you, and when you eat the wrong things, it causes chronic inflammation. So you can come on over. This sponge represents our body. It's not going to explode. This is one of the non-exploding ones, if I do it right. All right. So when you eat something, your body, represented by this sponge, absorbs it. So let's say you have your leafy green vegetables and arugula and parsley, and you see you pour it on there. It's not that big a deal. Your body, as it's supposed to, absorbs these nutrients, Yeah, sometimes you've got inflammation going on. You mentioned a few causes of that, stress and the like. And these nutrients will actually nourish the body and give it what it needs.
Right.
But if you're eating the wrong kinds of foods, unhealthy foods like trans fats, processed foods, you pour these in here and the body can't keep up. And it begins to filter and foam. And this inflammation is because the immune system is unable to keep up. And when it can't keep up, you've got this exploding war in there, and it begins to spout stuff up. It's not what you want. Your immune system thinks something is wrong. It creates a high alert system, and this, my friends, this is inflammation. If we can get this one concept across, the importance of inflammation and dealing with it the right way, it would change life in America, I think, forever.
I agree.
And the good news is Dr. Weil's anti-inflammatory diet can help prevent inflammation from happening in the first place. Now, what I love about your approach to this is you actually categorize this. You've got 5 essential items that we ought to be able to include in our diet, 5 ingredients. And would you mind walking us through them?
No, of course.
All right. So the first, and I want you just to point out that we have actually numbered these with the items involved. So this is a number 1.
So this is fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, but they're not impressed at all. You know how much time that took? All right. So number 1 are carotenoid-rich fruits and vegetables.
Right. So usually red, yellow fruits and vegetables. And by the way, dark leafy greens also, where you can't see the orange pigments, also good source of carotenoids.
Which is your favorite?
Well, I happen to like orange cauliflower. This is a new variety of cauliflower that's become available. One form is called cheddar. I grow this in my garden. It's bright orange, and it's chock full of carotenes.
And how many servings do you have to get a day of these?
Well, you know, we recommend 5 to 7 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. A serving is a half cup.
And just to be clear again one more time for everybody, why is having all these colors of the rainbow so important for beating back that inflammation that I outlined earlier?
All of these different pigments are protective compounds that help the body protect itself from inappropriate inflammation. So they boost your body's defenses.
Yeah, they quiet that sponge and help that sponge your body deal with all the inflammation you're pouring into it. Okay, right. The next key anti-inflammatory food in your diet are the whole and cracked grains.
Right, now this is important, and these are whole or cracked grains as distinguished from pulverized grains or flour. Mm-hmm. You know, most people are eating grains in the form of flour, whether it's chips, crackers, whatever. Those pulverized grains convert rapidly to blood sugar, cause spikes of blood sugar, spikes of insulin, and those increase inflammation in the body. When you eat a whole grain, and we have a variety here, the digestive process is slow, it blunts that spiking effect of blood sugar.
So again, cracked grains, because they're still big chunks,
you want to see pieces of grain, like these are cracked buckwheat groats. So you can see the grains have been cracked into a few big pieces.
You're messing up our number 2. I'm very precise about this. Right. How much do you have to eat?
Well, you know, with grains also recommend, say, 3 to 5 servings a day, and half cup is a serving.
And what's your favorite whole grain?
I like brown basmati rice. It's one of my favorites. I like quinoa, too, which is right here because it's quick cooking and easily digestible.
Yeah, I like quinoa, too. It works for oatmeal in the morning.
And it's high in protein.
Third key food in your anti-inflammatory diet are oils. These are not all oils that contain polyphenols. So how do you know which oils are of that category?
Well, these are oils that come from nuts, like walnuts and cashews that we have here, and extra virgin olive oil, which I think is the best all-purpose cooking oil. You know, my anti-inflammatory diet in the True Food Cookbook is based on the Mediterranean diet, where olive oil is the main fat, and I've added Asian influences to that. But these healthy fats are all important, and they're very different from the fats that the mainstream diet gives people, which promote inflammation.
I'm sold on it.
All right.
I like cashews, by the way.
I love cashews.
Now, the fourth key food in the anti-inflammatory diet is seafood.
Seafood.
And we have a black cod that a lot of folks have not been trying yet.
Right. This is also called sablefish, and sometimes butterfish, because the flesh is white and it's buttery, and this has a higher omega-3 content than salmon. Comes from Alaska, from very deep waters in Alaska. It's a wonderful fish that you should get to know.
And you just grill it up any way you want?
Very simple. It can be prepared very simply, and it's just delicious.
What's a practical recommendation for the number of servings of fish you ought to have?
You know, generally recommend 2 to 3 servings of fish a week.
And what about vegetarians? Are they losing out?
They're losing out on these healthy omega-3 fats. There are vegetarian sources. Walnuts contain some omega-3 fatty acids, and flaxseed and hemp seeds, but it's not the form that the body wants. So fish is the best source. If one thing that vegans can do, however, there's some new supplements that are omega-3 supplements made from algae. So that's a way for people that won't eat fish to get those good fats.
I'm trying to talk my wife back in eating fish, but it's an uphill battle.
All right.
All right. The fifth key to your anti-inflammatory diet are the herbs and spices.
Now that's beautiful, I have to say.
Beautiful.
That is beautiful.
Thank you very
Right,
much.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So walk us through these and why are these so important?
Well, herbs and spices have unusual chemical compounds in them that also are strongly protective against the effects of inflammation. This is rosemary, basil, cinnamon, chilies, curry powder, ginger, and turmeric. Ginger and turmeric are the two most potent natural anti-inflammatory agents known.
Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And should that be a twice or three times a week phenomenon? Or
You know,
daily?
Indians eat turmeric at every meal. And among other things, they have the lowest rate of Alzheimer's disease in the world. And many people think it's because of that regular consumption of turmeric.
Yeah. Sage advice. Again, these are the 5 foods.
Sage advice. That's another one, right?
Yes. Pardon the pun. The 5 elements that are truly important for making that anti-inflammatory diet work. All right, coming up. It's one of the best-selling dishes on Andy's menu and includes the 5 anti-inflammatory ingredients you need. Andy reveals how you can make it on your own in just 3 easy steps. Stick around.
Up next, the perfect meal
This is an unbelievably rich dish.
with Dr. Weil's anti-inflammatory ingredients.
Allow me.
Yes, please.
3 simple steps.
And that's it.
That is so easy.
And later, living with pain,
7 solutions
take back your life.
in just 7 days.
Stay with us.
I'm excited to be on Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz's show. So let's start talking. Now the web to have a national conversation about health and wellness. This is a no embarrassment zone. There's no topic that's off limits. I came to work today. I'm so lucky. And make sure you're sharing this information with the people you love. You're good to go. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything. And remember to check back often to see what's new. Now, back to the show. We're back with Dr. Andrew Weil and his anti-inflammatory diet for optimal health. Andy's new cookbook, True Food, features delicious recipes from his popular restaurants around the country. And he's going to show us how to make one of the best-selling dishes right now. So what are we making today and why is it so popular?
We're going to make curried cauliflower soup. It's vegan, very rich, and you can serve it either hot or chilled. And it's absolutely delicious, and it's chock full of antioxidants and things that protect you from inflammation. So what makes this soup rich and creamy is cashew milk. And that may sound tricky, but actually it's very easy to make. We're going to put in a half cup of raw cashews in a blender. And we just put this on, let's see, put this on high.
Let me help.
Yes, please. Yes, please. All right. There we
I
go.
love helping.
Excellent. Okay, good. Now, great, thanks. All right. And, you know, it doesn't take much. I would maybe stop it and stir it a bit to make sure everything is blended up. But then when everything's ground fine, you put in a cup of cold water. And now I'll let you do it. Blend it on high. And I would blend this for maybe 3 minutes. Stop. And you will get something that looks like rich milk.
That is so easy.
And it's a healthy fat.
All right, so step 2 is to saute the onions.
We're going to saute onions in extra virgin olive oil, and you just saute them until they're golden. And then we're going to put into that our spices because it's good to cook spices in oil. It helps release the good things in them. So we're putting in turmeric. We're putting in curry powder.
This smells so good.
And you can
Andy.
use hot or sweet curry powder, depending what you like. Some cinnamon.
You're choking on the curry powder.
I'm choking, right. Some cumin. And some salt.
Perfect.
And you're going to stir all that around. And then we're going to put into that cauliflower. And we're going to cover this with water.
You don't add the milk yet.
I wouldn't add the milk yet. I'd cover this with water, raise the heat till it begins to boil, lower the heat to simmer. You might cover it, and you just simmer till the cauliflower is tender, which won't take more than about 10 minutes or so. At the end of that time, I'm going to flavor this with a little bit of raw sugar.
All right.
And now here we've got a batch that's been cooked.
But when do you add the milk?
You could put that in now or after you blend it, either way.
Oh, all right.
And you're going to blend this with an immersion blender. This is a great tool. So I'm
May
going
I?
to stand back.
The operative word is immersion.
Immersion.
All right.
Okay, so you want to keep it under there, and you move this around. It's very, very simple. If you can do this in a food processor, but you have to let it cool down. But this you can do right in the pot, and you can actually stomp those pieces of cauliflower, and you'll wind up with a smooth puree. And then you enrich this by adding our cashew milk.
Oh, my goodness. I'll tell you. Oh, that's so good.
Stir that in, and that's it.
That's the whole thing?
That's it. You pure it right until smooth. And as I said, you can serve it hot or cold. You can garnish, if you like, with caramelized onions and a little sprinkle of cilantro. This is an unbelievably rich dish. It's just wonderful.
This reminds me of being at the restaurant.
Yes. And we're going to serve this accompanied with a piece of grilled black cod and some brown basmati rice so that we get all of our wheel there. So we're adding the seafood and the whole cracked grains. And then we've got all 5 elements of these mate of the anti-inflammatory.
I mean, I got to say, forget about the health element.
Yeah.
I just think it just tastes and looks fantastic.
It tastes and looks, and it's, as you see, it's not hard. This is an easy thing. You can do it in a half hour.
Just check my work,
All right.
Professor.
All right.
See if he's happy with it. And coming up for the first time ever on television, Dr. Weil is going to share his personal secret elixir that not only fights inflammation, but keeps your energy going all day long like this.
You did good, Dr. Oz.
Well, thank you very much. Stick around.
Coming up,
The highest content of antioxidants of any fruit that I've looked at.
Dr. Weil's elixir you can make at home.
It's a new suit.
That's inflammation.
Yes, inflammation.
And later, no matter where the pain is,
It goes up to my neck and into my hip.
7 solutions in 7 days.
I'm excited to be on Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz's show. So let's start talking. Now the web to have a national conversation about health and wellness. This is a no embarrassment zone. There's no topic that's off limits. I came to work today. I'm so lucky. And make sure you're sharing this information with the people you love. You're good to go. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything. And remember to check back often to see what's new. Now, back to the show. We're back with Dr. Andrew Weil, who's about to let us in on his secret to his anti-inflammatory elixir. So what makes this so special, this elixir?
Well, this is a super fruit called sea buckthorn. Now, you may not have heard of that, but it really is an up-and-coming fruit. This is a tiny orange berry that grows on a spiny shrub native to Mongolia, now being widely cultivated in Europe, especially in Italy and Switzerland. It has the highest content of antioxidants of any fruit that I've looked at. It also actually has some omega-3 fatty acids in the flesh of the fruit. And it has a long history, thousands of years of medicinal use in cultures as diverse as Tibet, Mongolia, ancient Greece, and Europe, and it tastes great. It's a wonderful elixir, and I like it just mixed, the pure juice just mixed with soda water.
I mean, if it's so fantastic, why haven't we all been using it?
Because it hasn't been known here, and it is just coming. You know, people are paying attention to it now. It's being used in skin products. It's being used as supplements. But I think the best way is to just drink the juice.
So it looks like this when it comes out?
Yes,
May I taste it?
yes.
Whoa. You like that taste?
Well, it's tart, but you want to dilute it. That's strong.
Oh.
Listen, we serve this at True Food restaurants. We serve it both in the elixir I'm going to show you, and we make a wonderful sorbet out of it with orange juice and a little vanilla extract, and it's a very popular item.
Well, show me how everyone can make it at home now.
All right, but what I would do is just take an ounce of the juice, and by the way, you can get this juice online or in health food stores, and I would just put that in a glass and fill it with soda water. And then if you like, I like it on...
Dr. Weil, you did it on purpose. It's a new suit.
That's inflammation.
Yes, inflammation.
It's inflammation.
All right, so you mix it up like that.
Yep, and then I like to put ice in it. And now, as I said, I like it unsweetened, but if you want, and I think people should get used to drinking beverages unsweetened or minimally sweetened.
Right.
If you want it sweetened, you can put in a little dash of agave nectar or a little bit of your favorite sweetener, but it really, it's good to drink it without much in it.
Where do you find these things?
You know, I travel all over the world, and wherever I go, I'm interested in what people eat. I was at an organic orchard of sea buckthorn in Tuscany in Italy. And, you know, I watched the processing of this, and I brought it back to True Food Kitchen and put it in the cookbook.
Well, if sea buckthorn doesn't agree with your taste buds, what's another option?
Well, any berries. Berries are great. So, you know, any kind of berry juice is wonderful.
They take you to the same place?
Yes.
I'm going to toast
This
you.
is a good one.
Thank you for all the wonderful advice.
Okay.
Now that is good.
That's good.
You have this every day?
I drink it every day.
All right. I think, folks, see buckthorn juice. You can find it. That's what it looks like. Add it to your daily regimen. This is very palatable.
It's good. Good.
All right. Congratulations for all your research, all the wonderful work, and for True
Thanks.
Food. Great book. All right. Never forget, check out his new book. True Food will inspire your inner chef and get you on the road to optimal health. Coming up, if you're in any kind of pain at all, give me 7 days. I'll give you 7 solutions to make you pain-free. You don't want to miss it.
Up next, 7 solutions for your pain
It works really well for headaches.
in just 7 days.
Best of all, they are all natural.
Tackle pain where it starts. Plus,
One of the best ways of reducing inflammation in the body.
stay with us.
I'm excited to be on Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz's show.
So let's start talking. Now the web to have a national conversation about health and wellness. This is a no embarrassment zone. There's no topic that's off limits. I came to work today. I'm so lucky. And make sure you're sharing this information with the people you love. You're good to go. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything. And remember to check back often to see what's new. Now, back to the show.
7 all-natural solutions to eliminate pain
Oh.
It's one of those smartest things that you can put into your cupboard.
in just 7 days.
If you remember one thing from today's show, are you in pain and nothing seems to help? Well, if you're one of the 116 million Americans living with any kind of pain, then I've got 7 solutions that can help you take back your life in just 7 days. And best of all, they are all natural. I wanted to know exactly what was causing your pain, so I went straight to the source and I asked you for the answers.
We launched a definitive online pain poll to learn everything about the pain you live with every day. The results astonished me. Almost 60% of you are in pain virtually every day of the week. Another 20% are in pain more than half the week. And the vast majority of you, 65%, suffer from agonizing back pain. Your other big sources of pain, your neck and shoulder, and your joints. Your pain ends today. My 7 solutions in 7 days target your most common pains naturally and effectively, so you can stay pain-free for good.
In just 7 days, my 7 solutions will stop your pain almost anywhere it starts. My first and second pain solutions are the perfect cure for your back and neck. They're your 2 top complaints. Now, I want you to do these pain solutions each and every morning for the next 7 days because together they can tackle your pain where it starts, in your nerves and in your muscles. So Lean's joining us.
Yes.
Share with
Hello,
us your.
Dr. Oz.
How are you?
Good, thank
You're having back pain, I understand?
I have back pain, and it goes up to my neck and into my hip. The longer I sit at my job, the worse it gets, and it's every day. It's constant.
So let me explain to you what's going on in your back. So I think it'll at least elucidate why these solutions are going to work for you. So you have the spinal column, and in the spinal column, there are nerves. But as you bend back and forth at work or at home, you bend this little area, the disc in between the pieces of bone. Now, there's nerves that are coming out around there. When you bend that disc, it pushes on those nerves. Those nerves get irritated and stretched. And as that bulging occurs, it sends shooting pains down to your legs, shoots them back up to your neck. Your entire body gets involved again at where the pain originates, which is in the nerves and the muscles that they're feeding. So I've got a bunch of solutions today that are going to work right in that territory. The first of these solutions, which I personally adore because it works so effectively on nerves, is B12, vitamin B12. Now, vitamin B12 boosts something that a lot of folks don't appreciate. It's the importance of. But those nerves, remember those nerves I showed coming out? Think of them like electrical cables. You've got a surface on them, a coating on them. That coating is made by having the right amounts of things like vitamin B12. Right? So vitamin B12 can be taken in a couple ways. I just take it as in a pill form. It works fantastically well that way. It's 1 milligram daily. It'll help reduce the pain so you can do other activities to strengthen up your back muscles.
Okay, sounds
Pretty
good.
simple to do.
Yeah.
A lot of folks will actually put it under their tongue and absorb it under there. If you don't like swallowing it as a pill, either form works well.
Okay.
The second pain solution I want to offer you that, again, will work at the place where all this pain is starting in you, which is in your nerves, is something called capsaicin. Come on over here.
Okay.
Let me share with you what capsaicin is. So show me in your neck where you typically get the pain.
Right here.
May I massage that area?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is capsaicin cream. It comes in a very easy form to administer. You can buy it in health food stores and drugstores sell it. And I'm going to massage it in here. Now, aside from the healing touch of my fingers, how does this feel?
Oh, it's a little warming.
little warming, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Now,
is.
as you watch it, because I can feel it on my fingers also, you'll actually feel that it almost stings a little bit. You sense
Yeah, I'm getting that sensation.
Yes, it will continue
Very
throughout the
interesting.
day.
Okay.
But capsaicin is what gives chili peppers their hotness. So it's that sense of bitiness that you actually want. You rub it into that area that's tender 3 times a day. Again, start in the morning. You'll feel that little tingling initially, and then the pain will go away because you're stimulating the fibers in the nerves and sort of soothing them, which is why capsaicin works so beautifully for this. That's a reasonable way to go, but I got one other little added benefit with capsaicin.
Ooh, okay.
It works really well for headaches.
No.
You ever get headaches?
Yes, I do.
So I want you to be our guinea pig here.
Okay.
The only little catch is it comes in a little spray, and I've got to spray it in your nose.
Is this what time when you say me first and you do it first?
Well, I've done it before, so I want you to go.
Okay. All right.
All right? It will only sting for a second. Inhale, ready?
Ah.
It's okay?
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
You okay with that?
Yes, absolutely.
Are you sure?
Yeah. You said you tried it.
Oh,
It's fine.
what are you talking about?
No, that was fine.
You didn't inhale it.
Oh, yes, I did.
Now your eyes are watering. There. See,
No,
how-
it's the bright lights. I find that fine, that sensation.
It stings a little bit when you put it in there. This is one of the best headache solutions out there. You did mention headaches on the pain poll. That's a little added benefit for
yeah,
you.
definitely.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We also had joint pain, which is ranked as your next top complaint. It's something that Kelly, who's joining us, feels every day.
Hi, how you doing?
Welcome to the show, Kelly.
How you doing?
So describe your joint pain to me.
I usually have pain in my neck and it shoots up to my hips. It'd be days that I can't get out of my bed or do the house chores or even do simple things like take the kids to school or just play with them.
So just to emphasize that, so you say sometimes the pain is so significant you can't even get out of bed?
Yes.
And is the pain localized to the knee area?
It's in the knee and it goes all the way up to the hips.
But it starts in the knee.
Yes.
Let me show you what I think is starting all this, because once you have pain in any part of your body will magnify that. You'll begin to feel it in lots of places, and joint pain is pretty typical for all of us as we age.
Yeah.
So come on back here. In a normal joint, your knees will look like this, and as you bend your knees, you'll see there's a little cushion there on top of the joint there. Right? So let's look in closely here. There's the cushion up here. That will begin to shrink away, and this little area, this little washer, it's called the meniscus, the cartilage, it will shrink down over time. It's natural, but you'll also begin to abrade and scratch the surface of the joint. See that surface there? It'll get raw and red as you get more and more friction from the two bones touching each other as they open back and forth.
Okay.
That's what's happening in your knees. That starts this cascade of pain that sometimes goes to your hips and sometimes other parts of our bodies as well. Right. So the question is, what are you going to do about this?
I don't know, hopefully you can tell me some remedies.
Well, it's so common that, I've got 2 really great solutions I want to offer it.
Okay.
Again, these are things you're going to do every single morning. The first is something called boswellia. Boswellia is an herbal remedy. Boswellia extract is simple to use. It works on these joints by reducing the amount of cartilage damage. You have a bit less of that friction that causes the joints to rub on each other. So you don't get that raw area that I showed in that animation. You can find it in health food stores. You want to make sure it has at least a 40% concentration. So look on the bottle of boswellia extract. You want to see 40% concentration. That's not too much, right?
No.
I'll put this is all going to be on DrOz.com too, so you can't forget it.
Okay.
But I've got an extra one for you.
Oh, cool.
The fourth pain solution, and again, you're going to do this every single morning, is powdered ginger. Now, this one you've heard of.
I have that in my cabinet.
You do?
I do.
And do you take it?
I put it in tea sometimes.
That's a good way to go. You want about half a teaspoonful, and you can put it into water here if you want.
Okay.
Mix it up. And you've had it in tea, but if you just try it straight up, it's, for me anyway, an alternative to tea.
It's pretty interesting. Really good.
Well, interesting is the right word. I wouldn't say, I wouldn't naturally go out there and start jumping at the stuff, but I actually like the taste enough that I would taste it that way. A lot of folks do better with it in lemonade.
Okay.
But again, half a teaspoonful. It's very little to ask of your body to take that in the morning as part of your routine. And you'll watch the inflammation shrink away, not just in your joints. Because remember, pain's a barometer of our overall body health. If you can get rid of the pain in your joints, you'll do many other things besides just get out of bed. Fair
Very
enough?
good, yes.
All right, is that helpful?
It is. It's very helpful. I'm definitely going to start that tomorrow morning.
Up next, should you toss your ibuprofen for good? My favorite all-natural solution that will stop your pain in its tracks. Stay with us.
Up next, the all-natural remedy
It's my favorite.
for the days you need it most.
Very safe but very effective cream.
Plus,
It stops your pain all over the body before it starts. Everybody should be doing this.
prevent future injuries. And later,
Give us a trick that we can all do at home right now.
pain-free with a pencil.
This gets right to the root of the problem.
Don't go away.
I'm excited to be on Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz's show. So let's start talking. Now the web to have a national conversation about health and wellness. This is a no embarrassment zone. There's no topic that's off limits. I came to work today. I'm so lucky. And make sure you're sharing this information with the people you love. You're good to go. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything. And remember to check back often to see what's new. Now, back to the show.
We asked our viewers, what's your worst day of the week when it comes to your pain? Seems like the weekend wears off too fast. You said Monday was the worst when it comes to pain.
We're back, and I've got 7 solutions for all your pain problems in just 7 days. Now, my next 2 pain solutions only need to be done 2 to 3 times a week. You're going to use them when your usual body pains intensify without a warning. I brought in an expert who specializes in eliminating pain naturally, Dr. Lily Rosenthal. Let's talk about the fact that the pain really is a vicious cycle. It just begets more pain once it starts happening. How do you break that cycle?
It's exactly true. Pain is a vicious cycle. When we have pain in one part of the body, the rest of our body compensates because it hurts, so we try to protect the area. We get muscle guarding, spasm, and it just sets off a whole cascade of problems. So the most important thing to break that cycle is to actually identify the part of the body that's causing the pain. So the root cause of the problem is very important to identify, and then we can actually address the pain very comprehensively.
And you argue convincingly that we ought to do this through natural means. Why?
Absolutely. The body has natural healing powers. Not hard to believe. For example, when we cut our skin, the body actually heals and mends and repairs itself. We fracture a bone even, and the bone can repair itself. The body's an amazing machine, really. So if we can tap into that natural ability for the body to do its own thing, so much more powerful than just taking a pill, which is really just a Band-Aid. Band-Aids are good, but they're a temporary solution. If you want a real sort of deep solution that's long-term, you definitely want to use a natural kind of treatment.
And you've got a couple solutions you're going to share with us. The 5th pain solution we're going to talk about is an all-natural remedy that works on the days you need it the most. Dr. Rosenthal, what is it?
Oh, arnica. It's my favorite. Arnica is a topical, very safe but very effective cream that can be used any region of the body that hurts. And it actually works. The mechanism of arnica is that it helps with blood flow, so it brings better circulation to the area of injury or pain. It brings oxygen to the area, so the body, again, can tap into the natural self-healing properties, and it's very effective. Also effective for bruising, by the way. I
got to point out that there was a large study just came out showing that it was as effective as ibuprofen gel, but of course it has fewer side effects. Who here does not have arnica in their cupboard? Okay. Does not. Yeah. That's the one thing, if you remember one thing from today's show, put arnica gel in your cupboard. We use it in our household all the time.
Yeah, same.
It's one of those smartest things that you can put into your cupboard. And I think it's pretty safe. In fact, is it safe for most everybody?
It's safe for most everybody. The only thing you want to be careful of is you don't want to put, if it's an acute injury or a cut or an open skin, you don't want to use it. It can actually irritate the skin. So really, for anybody, any age group, for any musculoskeletal problem, but not on open skin.
Fair enough. That's the 6th pain solution. Is a simple move you can do at home that stops your pain all over the body before it starts. Everybody should be doing this. If they're at home, you guys have to, unfortunately, stay in your seats. This is called the pelvic power tilt. Explain what this is, and we're going to demonstrate it.
Sure. The pelvic power tilt addresses a very important part of our bodies, which is the core. So it's really the powerhouse of the body, if you will. And it's so important to keep this area strong and healthy, because if we have a weak core, then we're at risk, believe it or not, for injuries in the upper extremities, even the elbow, the shoulder, and the knees, because we're not supported in our powerhouse of the body.
So can you show me how to do it?
Sure.
All right. Again, these are simple to do. People at home who have a floor, which most of us do, can do this exercise. All right. And again, these are simple ways of preventing pain. You can start off doing these just a few times a week.
Okay, so we're lying down flat on the floor, feet down, pelvis down, relax. Take a big breath before you start to relax the body. And what you want to do is, just for monitoring purposes, take a hand, either one, I'm going to use my right, and just put it right underneath. There's a little curve you feel in the back, in the small of the back. And what you want to do is bring your belly button, your navel, down into the floor to press down your hand. And at the same time, it's called a tilt because you're lifting your pelvis up just a bit. You want to hold this for about 10 seconds and relax.
So this is a very small, very tiny move, in fairness. So how long do you see results?
Almost instantly, because you bring awareness to the muscles in the abdomen, and it helps with our posture. So we have supported the musculoskeletal system, and we see results almost instantly because when we are aware of these muscles and we're engaging these muscles, we tend to sort of walk better and hold ourselves in a better way. So almost instantly, easy.
So 10 seconds, how many times in a row?
20 times, and do it in alternate days. So 3 times a week is perfect.
Very helpful. Thank you very much. All right, coming up, get rid of those cramps in 90 seconds with no pills. Hands down, it's the best pain solution that I have seen in years. You're going to love this. Stay with us.
I'm excited to be on Dr. Oz.
Dr. Oz's show. So let's start talking. Now the web to have a national conversation about health and wellness. This is a no embarrassment zone. There's no topic that's off limits. I came to work today. I'm so lucky. And make sure you're sharing this information with the people you love. You're good to go. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything. And remember to check back often to see what's new. Now, back to the show.
Why do some people have a higher threshold for pain than others?
Before you waste another day with spasms and sore muscles or cramps, I'm going to show you how you can shut down your pain in 90 seconds or less. And this is my ultimate solution that you only need to do 1 day a week. And the best news, it's the fastest and most relaxing of them all. It is called positional release therapy. So Dr. Rosenthal, what does positional release therapy mean?
Positional release therapy is a hands-on technique that can actually go to the root of the problem, which is the muscle. As we spoke before, pain can be a vicious cycle and the muscles get into spasm. So we can go right to the source of the problem and actually relax the muscle to provide pain in 90 seconds.
And what kinds of pain does it work best for?
Work for any region of the body, the neck, the shoulders, the knees, the back, actually, because the musculoskeletal system is all connected.
All right, so we've got Jill, whose biggest complaint is her chronic pain in her right arm. Welcome to the show, Jill. How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Can I have a seat? So describe on a scale of 1 to 10 how bad the pain is.
Pain could be from a 9 to a 10. And it's in my shoulder, and it radiates down my arm, and it feels like a toothache in your arm.
Jill, would you mind showing us how you could bring Jill's 10 or 9 pain down to a 0 or certainly a lot less?
Sure. The first thing to do is to identify the maximal point of tenderness. So even though Jill's pain is in her neck, shoulder, it involves the whole right quadrant, including the arm. So there's often a tender point found in the upper trapezius muscle, which is right up in here. And what I'm going to do is, Jill, if you can just tell me where the point of maximal tenderness, right here, okay. So what I'm going to do is hold my finger right on the point of maximal tenderness on the muscle, and I'm going to gently have Jill guide me in when I'm going to position her head, because everything's connected, the head, the neck, the muscles. So I'm going to guide the head to a position where if the pain was a 10, Jill, tell me when it goes down to at least a 3 or less out of 10.
It's definitely less than a 3.
Less than a 3, okay. So with that information, I'm going to just hold the body in this position for 90 seconds. And while I'm doing this, it seems like I'm doing almost nothing. It's exquisitely gentle, and the patient is very relaxed. What's happening is because the muscle is communicating with the spinal cord, there's a reflex system that is now giving the spinal cord as well as the muscle information to just completely relax. So it helps release tense and spastic muscles.
Jill, did it hurt initially when?
No, none at all.
No. Felt better initially, immediately?
Yes.
And Dr. Rosenthal, again, doctors can do this, osteopathic physicians can do this, rehab specialists can do this.
Correct.
And if you had uterine cramps, where would they put pressure on you?
On the low back. Again, the uterus and the low back are innervated by the same nerves. The body is so intimately connected that we can actually, and there's also referral patterns, that we can address the musculoskeletal system, believe it or not, to affect sort of the inner areas that are have pain in the body.
And what if folks sitting at home want to self-treat? They want to do it to themselves. And again, I appreciate that there, you should keep this in your mind. There are people who can actually help your body by physically manipulating it. But give us a trick that we can all do at home right now.
You're absolutely right. So find a pencil with a tip, with a good eraser. And many people have trigger points or muscle pain in the area of the elbow. We're using our computers all day long. So try to just examine and find on yourself a point of maximal tenderness.
Right, you
Got
got
that? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. So what you want to do is take the pencil, eraser, not the pointy part, and put it right on the muscle. And you have a choice. You can either hold downward pressure for about 60 seconds. What that does is it helps the muscle to release and relax and melt pretty much under the pencil eraser. I said you have a choice. You can either press down or you can gently circular motions in the pain.
Oh, that gets it.
Yeah. So it's a little sort of prop. You could do this at home. All you have to find is a pencil. Very safe, very effective, and it actually gets to the source of the problem. So taking a pain pill is going to go through your entire system. This gets right to the root of the problem.
Very helpful. Is that helpful, Joe?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you
You're
very
welcome.
much. I'll see you next time. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything. And remember to check back often to see what's new.